Hello, 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 my best bookies. Today I am going to be talking about Battle of the Books. This is a program I have mentioned in the past, but I have never really gone in depth about it, so I kind of want to tell you what it's about. So this is a program where the top kind of 10 recently released YA books come together and they battle out to find out who's the best. It's a high school program, but I am in the middle school, but I'm still participating in it because it's so fun and so cool. I can't wait to finish. I have read 9 of the 10 books and I am halfway through the 10th one. It's such a cool program. I think you guys will really love it. Once I finish the 10th one, I will come out with probably every other day a review of the books in order of least favorite to favorite. So it's kind of going to be like a countdown for me too. It's such a cool program we do. I truly have loved it. It's so fun. You guys should really do it with me. It's so fun. So the first book I'm going to talk about, I'm going to talk about all 5 of the books I don't actually have on me first, and then I'm going to talk about the 5, that way I remember to get through the 5 I don't have. But anyway, first up we have Refugee by Alan Gratz. Alan Gratz, I don't know, I like Alan Gratz, I think it's so much more fun to say. But anyway, this follows 3 different characters. Joseph, a Jewish boy in Germany during the Nazi times. Isabel, a girl in Cuba trying to escape Fidel Castro's rage, I guess you could say, in 1994. And then finally there is Mahmoud, a boy in Syria in 2015 trying to escape that war zone. All of their stories are heartbreaking and tragic, and they all come together at the end in a cool way. I did like it. I gave it 3.75 stars, really enjoyable. I actually went the audiobook route for this one because each character has its own voice, which was really cool. It was just a great read. I really recommend it, especially if you like Alan Gratz. This is just one of his best books in my opinion. Another book that I don't have that is part of Battle of the Books is Warcross by Marie Lu. I'm sure you guys are not surprised by this one. This is an incredibly popular book right now because Marie Lu is an incredibly well-known writer. But this book was my first Marie Lu book and I really liked it. It's like a sci-fi technological kind of fantasy thing. It takes place in this world where everybody plays this virtual reality game called Warcross. And our main character, Emma Chen, is like a hacker and coder, and she accidentally hacks into the opening Warcross Championship Ceremony games. And then she is taken off to Tokyo to help the producer with a problem they have in Warcross. It's this incredibly romantic, tragic, whoa, crazy, boom story. It has so many twists and turns, so many things you weren't expecting. I liked it. I gave it 4 stars. Really cool novel. If you loved Marie Lu in the past, you will love this even more. Another book on the list is Far From the Tree by Robin Benway. So this follows 3 different characters, Grace, Maya, and Joaquin. They are all biologically siblings, however, they have never met because they were distributed through the foster care and adoptive systems, and they are coming together, of course, to find out about their parents. It's a crazy, tragic, awesome contemporary. I loved it. It's one of the best adoption novels I've ever read. 4.5 stars. It was a really cool read. I did not go the audiobook route for this one, but I'm sure it would actually be a really cool audiobook. Next we have A List of Cages by Robin Rowe. This is a tragic tale. My heart broke 500 times over in this. It follows a boy named Adam and a boy named Julian. They are ex-foster siblings, and Adam is the school psychologist's aide, and he has to find Julian because the school psychologist has wanted to talk to him. And it's this tragic story of how they come together and reunite their foster brotherly siblinghood. It's so, oh my god. It is about domestic violence. Julian is undergoing intense abuse, and it's a tale I can't even begin to describe. It was so heartbreakingly aching and beautiful. There are so many intense, tragic scenes where Julian is abused, and just thinking about it makes me want to bawl my eyes out. It was such an amazing novel. I gave it 5 stars. I have never read something like it, and I plan to read more things like it because it was so everything I want in a book. It was awesome. I totally recommend it. This is one of my favorite Battle of the Books so far, probably my 2nd favorite. I can't recommend it more, recommend it stronger. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And then the final novel that I don't have with me that I'm going to be talking about on this list is How Did the Sun Rise by Sandra Uwingiyimana and Abigail Pesta. This is a memoir of a girl who survived the Gatumba massacre in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Her name is Sandra Uwingiyimana, if you can't tell. It's an autobiography. It follows her survival of the massacre and then her PTSD and her struggle to survive in America after she immigrated, having only known Africa her entire life. It's a truly tragic story, great tale, probably sadly my least favorite of the Battle of the Books, but that's just because I don't really like memoirs. I gave it 3 stars. If you like memoirs at all, I think you would love this one. It was one of the best I've read. It was good. Next up onto the books that I actually have with me is The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas. This is a very well-known book right now. It is kind of going viral everywhere. It follows a girl named Star Carter. She witnessed the fatal shooting of her friend Khalil by a police officer. And she knows that it was unjustful what he did. It was injustice. But the world is thinking it was what the police officer had to do. So she has to stand up for Khalil and tell the world the truth. It's a heartbreaking novel. It broke my heart. Like I said, I did just say it was heartbreaking. But whatever. It's so beautiful and tragic. I cried 5 times over because it was that amazing, and I was so involved with Star and her family, and the ending is crazy, weird, and bam! I loved this novel. I gave it 4.5 stars. I totally recommend it to anybody who wants to pick up any book right now. It was so good. Next up, another very kind of popular novel right now is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. I love John Green. This is the 6th book I've ever read by him. It was so good. I've read all of his books except for Will Grayson, which was a collaboration with David Levithan. But anyway, this follows a girl named Asa, and she has kind of a mental disease where she has negative thought spirals. I'm not going to explain what those are, but it totally impacts her life. In this story, a billionaire has recently run from the law, and there's like a $100,000 reward for any information about him or his capture. So she, Asa, and her best friend Daisy work together to find out some information about him because they want the reward, and they know his son, who is in their grade in high school. It's a romantic novel like all of John Green is. It's tragic. It's actually kind of like a mystery almost, and it has a plot twist at the end, which is really cool for John Green. I feel like he does in some of his books, but this was like a mystery contemporary. It was so cool, an awesome comeback for John Green as he hadn't written a book in years, and it was awesome. I really loved it. 5 stars. Next up, I'm going to be talking about This Mortal Coil by Emily Suvada. I don't actually have the cover on this book because I got it from my teacher, Miss Dodge, and she takes off the cover so she can remember who has them when she lends out her books. But it's a beautiful cover. Anyway, this is a sci-fi story in a kind of an apocalyptic world. So there's this plague going around where like people blow up and their cells go everywhere, and it follows a girl whose father is an ingenious hacker and has created vaccines and stuff like that. And I can't really go into more detail about that. It's a good novel. This is the one I'm currently reading. I'm only halfway through it, but I like it. Her name is Katerina. I don't know why that took me so long to remember. But it's a good book. I like it so far. Probably like 3.5 stars so far. I enjoy it. I just don't love sci-fi very much. But if you love sci-fi, this is totally a book for you. This Mortal Coil by Emily Suvada. Next up, probably my second favorite book, except, there is a list of pages, but I don't know. I have not ordered them yet, but anyway. We have Roar by Cora Carmack. So this is a fantasy romance following a girl named Aurora, and she is the heir to the Pavanian throne. However, she has none of the magic it takes to rule the land she lives in, and obviously she wants that magic, and she can't rule her kingdom without it. So she escapes to find that magic, and Cora Carmack is an adult romance writer, so this book is obviously heavily in romance. However, it is young adult. There are no inappropriate scenes in it, so I really recommend it if you want to read a romance in YA. It's great. The sequel, Rage, is coming out June 5th, and I absolutely cannot wait. It's within 6 days of the next book I'm going to talk about, sequel release. It was so good. I truly loved this. I gave it 4.5 stars. Probably my second favorite book on this list. It was awesome. And then the final book I am going to be talking about on this list is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I'm sure none of you are surprised to find this on this list. It is a very new, very popular YA release. It is beautiful. If you have not noticed this cover, it is just everything I need in life. It was so good. Anyway, it follows 2 girls, Scarlett and Donatella, told from Scarlett's perspective. They have an abusive, controlling father, and they try to escape him and go to a 5-night game where the audience participates in the show called Caraval. However, Donatella is kidnapped as part of the game, and the goal of this year's game is to find her. So Scarlet enlists the aid of this sailor named Julian. It's an incredibly beautiful book. I loved it. So romantic. Totally my favorite so far, and I think it's going to be my favorite out of all of the books. Anyway, this is an awesome novel. I gave it 5 stars. It was so well done, and I can't wait for the sequel, Legendary, coming out on May 29th, within 6 days of Rage, the sequel to Roar. Anyway, it is so exciting. I can't wait to find the next book in this series, which is actually told from Donatella's point of view. So that's going to be cool. Anyway, that is Battle of the Books. It's a 10-book program. You guys should totally read them along with me. It's such a cool thing to do. I really love it. And then on June 5th, which I think is actually the release date of Roar, I think it's June 5th anyway, we'll have a meeting where everybody who read the books will come together and kind of vote it out. It's such a cool program. I love it. It's going to be so awesome, and I can't wait to do it next year. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. I hope you participate in Battle of the Books with me. Bye guys.